ticket. Basically, if they didn't sell enough tickets, the event wasn't going to happen. So there wasn't as much of a need to have a really long campaign period. So they capped it at 3 weeks, 21 days. They had 100 pledges in that time period, and they got just over the target that they were looking for.
So this next section we felt was really important because there are a lot of crowdfunding information sessions going on at the moment. They're largely being run by crowdfunding businesses themselves. So we wanted to come at this from a government perspective. Really, this is not about recommending one platform over another. It's more about giving you guys a snapshot of what's out there, some things to consider when you're making that decision. So one of the most important factors is what model the platform uses. So we talked before about the all or nothing thing. You raise the money in the time frame, you get the money. If you don't get any of the money. So basically, the five platforms that we're going through, Indiegogo, Start Some Good, Sponsume and Kickstarter, all have the all or nothing model available. Indiegogo and Sponsume also have this thing called flexible funding, which basically means even if you don't make the target in the time frame, you can still keep the money. It's just that they take a higher percentage of it. Start Some Good has this mechanism where you can set 2 targets. The first is a hard target, which is basically what you really need to get the thing off the ground. The second one is like a stretch target, so anything you make over that initial target, the thing is scalable. So what happens though is that once the project raises the amount of the hard target, then all of the pledges are taken to be processed.
Okay, so it's also important to think about whether or not the platform's available to you. So as a general rule, all of the platforms are available to anyone, but there are a few limitations. So for example, Possible, it's mainly creative projects, and there is a sort of curation process. They make a decision about what's on the platform. Indiegogo and Sponsume are open to everything, literally everything, including Michigan bus drivers who need a holiday from their terrorizing students, which is a legitimate campaign, I might add, which was going for, what was it? $5,000 and raised 700,000 US. So I guess that suffers from, the YouTube syndrome. Just because it's a bigger platform and there's more people looking at it doesn't mean that they're all looking at your campaign. So it's important to think about what's important for your project. Start Some Good is specifically focused on social enterprise projects. And the other significant limitation is that to use Kickstarter, somebody involved in the project has to have an American bank account or an American credit card.
Okay, so how much do the platforms take? Possible, Start Some Good and Kickstarter take 5%. Indiegogo and Sponsume have the 4% for if you make it and the 9% if you don't.
Okay, it's also important to